Just recently today, I've heard from two other victims that so it's just a lot to talk about, that experienced the same thing that I experienced.
The people he was speaking up for turned out to be alleged victims of T.D. Jakes' not-so-pretty side. You'd be quick to doubt it, but taking a look at the man's history makes it a little difficult to contend.
T.D. Jakes was hanging out at a rapper and twerking party that Puff Daddy held. He's sitting right there, old T.D. Snakes.
Even someone who's been at those parties was shocked at the news of a public preacher showing up there.
Rumors surrounding, Diddy and T.D. Jakes.
Why would a religious man like himself be at a party, which ain't nothing but sin that's going?
And it's not just his bodyguard that feels that way. Other people in the entertainment industry with insider knowledge say he's much worse than he appears to the world.
See, they're up in another hemisphere than regular, too. They're very insulated. They can do what they want. They got people on.
It's not every day you get to see famous preachers in the headlines. And in most cases, when you do see them, it's usually for something related to their message. Over the past couple of weeks, T.D. Jakes has gone against this expected tide of people in his line of work, as the famed bishop has been wrapped up in some rather unusual news. Now, his media appearances have taken an even worse direction, with his name making the news right next to allegations of arrest. I mean, unlike most preachers, Jakes is actually no stranger to being the center of media attention. His church growth over the years, coupled with his involvement with several successful figures in the entertainment industry, has earned him an almost unshakable spot in society. And you know what comes with that kind of success? Fame. Well, it seems his messages aren't the only thing he's famous for, as recent news reports are saying the man might not exactly be a follower of his own message. There are successful theologians in the world, and then there are people like Bishop T.D. Jakes, who seem to have figured out a way to bridge the gap between the entertainment community, particularly the hip-hop scene, and biblical messages. Not only has the man been involved with several high-profile figures both within and outside the Black community, but his reach even spans into the international scene. However, like many people religious leader alike, Jakes has constantly faced criticism for his associations with several high-net-worth individuals that most people consider sketchy. The preacher, however, has always let those claims fly right over his head, as he never seemed to pay any mind to people he believed were against him, until now. These days, we're finding out that Jakes might not exactly be the sinless saint many people have thought him to be through the years. See, the thing with getting caught up in controversy after controversy in a world that is ruled by headlines is that at one point or the other, those controversies start to cast a shadow on anything you might be involved in. This was somewhat the story with Jakes, as people started to question whether the bishop might not have been entirely innocent of the claims that have been coming out against him. The fury of this fire became even more intense after not just one, but two people recently came out to admit that they individually had dark experiences involving the preacher being inappropriate with them while they were younger. In an unexpected twist of fate, the preacher's own son also happened to be caught up in a situation that made people more open to believing the recent allegations about him. He might have been caught up in more dire situations in the past, but the timing of these stories couldn't possibly be worse for him.
You look just like the sinner! Just like the sinner!
You may not even know anything about the message he preaches, but there's almost no chance you haven't heard anything about T.D. Jakes. And while his church might be the main thing that brought him to the center of the media, there have been several other news reports that have kept him there. Some are more unexpected than you'd think, as was the case with the news about his son.